Does your customer service suck? So, pardon my French, but this is Deborah Atkinson. You're listening to the Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast, where I share marketing and sales strategies that are anything but sleazy, pushy, and salesy so that you can build a fitness business that you love along with a life that you love and do it in a way full of integrity that you feel good about. Today's all about your customer support and your customer service and your customer journey. Their experience is really at the hub of what determines how much value you get from every customer, meaning how much each customer spends and whether or not they talk to you in a positive way to their friends and colleagues. So before we start, just a quick word. This episode is sponsored by the Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist, based on the first and the only Flipping 50 membership, fitness membership for women in menopause. And the methods that I've used since 2013 and researched for decades prior to that. If you're working with a woman in midlife and if you struggle to help her lose the body fat, lose the belly fat, lose the cellulite, get the energy back, lose the brain fog, and you may be keeping her, but not necessarily keeping her happy or referring you to all of her friends. You want to check that out at Flipping or Fitness Marketing Mastery. That is the danger of having three websites. fitnessmarketingmastery.com/programs. Okay, here we go. We're going to do this like speed dating and get you through this. There are really three top reasons, three top causes your customer support sucks. Okay, number one, there's no delight factor. Do you ever surprise them? In a good way. In fact, do you surprise them as soon as they buy? And do you surprise them randomly along the way for no special reason? Are you sending little gifts, even as small as a PDF or a video that's unexpected? It can change the relationship you have with your customers. Is there something fun that happens on the phone when they log in, when they get an email or stop at your front door? If you've got a receptionist or front desk staffer who seems to suck the life out of you, probably happening for members too. Often someone who needs attention themselves may want to have a front desk position. Be sure you recognize someone who wants to be the center of attention from someone who wants to make a customer feel like the center of attention. But no matter if you run an in-person brick and mortar business or you are a totally digital business, we're all online. So in your purchases, the receipts could be something really juicy. The welcome email, once somebody joins, is it fun? Does it surprise them? Does it delight them? Does it have not only a welcome email with their name on it, but actually maybe a video with you holding up a sign with their name on it? There are things you can do. They take a little bit more energy, a little bit more time and planning, but they can be well worth the wow and delight factor. The second cause of your customer support sucks is the difference between my pleasure and no worries. You've heard it. You've said it. I've said it. Listen, and I didn't even realize this was happening. And I have to catch myself saying it or avoiding saying it all the time. But did you know when you say no problem or no worries, you actually tell a customer that they were a pain in the ass? Sorry again. Definitely not a family show. The brain doesn't process no or don't, those negatives before words. So they actually read, oh, problem, I was a problem, or worry, I caused concern. So you, for instance, wouldn't want to create some kind of an advertisement that said, don't be lazy this summer. You want to do the opposite. You want to create one that says, have tons of energy this summer, right? If that's your message. You don't actually want to use, and I've done this too, things like avoid this fat trap because that still is slightly negative. Now, it's not as bad. It's not quite the same as no problem or no worries or don't, but you might want to think twice about which gets open first. So even that, avoid this trap, could be sending the wrong message. Instead, relay that it was an absolute pleasure to serve you. I'm here to serve you. I was happy to do that. I'm glad to make it easy and smooth for you. So see if you can catch your front desk people or make it a game for them to catch themselves and make them winners if they catch themselves. And you'll improve everybody's customer service and your customer's experience. It matters to the customer and to your customer service staff. If they can't say it, feel it, they're uncomfortable saying it, things like, it was an absolute pleasure to serve you, they're likely not your source of customer delight. The third cause of customer support sucks is fix once instead of over and over. And said the other way, really, if you are fixing things over and over, same things, you probably have a big leak in your system. So customer support sometimes will be caught fixing things with a one-off every time that should be fixed at the root of the problem. I had a customer support staff member quit abruptly after an F-bomb on the phone to me, by the way, and then followed by a have fun in the support box wish. And during the middle of COVID-19. So when we were just a little busy already scrambling. But the best thing that has happened to my business for 14 months, the day he started. Only I didn't know it at the time. I thought he was doing okay. Customers did like his ability to help quickly. However, unbeknownst to me, and that is 110% my fault, by the way, he was creating more problems than he was solving. In fact, he was costing me a lot of money that I didn't know because he was just fixing the same problems over and over and assuming that that was his job. And he never pointed out that he was repeatedly having to do the same thing, literally the same task for specific programs. So, like training clients, you don't want to give them a stretch to relieve their lower back pain. You want to find out why they have the lower back pain in the first place, right? So, I needed to know this kept coming up over and over so we could have identified months ago that more people were asking customer support for help. And probably more than that, were just leaving our site unhappy without ever becoming a lead or a customer. He could only do what he was capable of doing. He could follow instruction, but he couldn't see the bigger picture. So what I needed to know when I hired him was that, and I hadn't identified it. So the system of having him track frequently asked questions wasn't detailed enough to give me insight on the isolated problems we could have easily fixed. So then I, in effort to pick up the slack when he was gone, was in my own support box for about 2 weeks. And it was an eye-opening and worst and best experience that I could have had. We fixed and automated so much in the last 2 months that we're increasing traffic, increasing leads, and increasing revenue at a dramatically greater pace. So how do you set that up? Well, when you're interviewing staff members, you probably need to take them through some problem-solving questions. Give them scenarios that literally happen within your support box and those customer service complaints or tickets. If your customer support sucks, whether you are your customer support or somebody else is handling it, like me, you're responsible. So test it, opt into your own funnels, send secret spies into your business and have them call your business during regular and off hours. Get reports about the experience. Take a look at consistency of different staff members at different times of day. Imagine how convenient it is for somebody to stop in during evening or weekend hours when they want to use your services, but then find it's inconvenient that nobody can help them and nobody can get them access. Does that happen in your business on or offline? And how can you prevent it from happening? That is how you can prevent your customer support from sucking. You've got this. Start now. Take a good look at it because this is how you set yourself apart from the others. Love to hear from you. What are you waiting for? The world needs you now more than ever.